And I'm going to invite Jeff Diver up, a Rotarian, who will do our prayer and pledge for us today.
I'd like to ask us to especially pray today for our first responders and for our military and for the family of the detective who was killed in Dayton, Ohio a few days ago. We also want to remember Rotarians as well as Kiwanians and others who are ill and can't be with us today. Let us pray. Oh God, when I have food, help me to remember the hungry. When I have work, help me to remember the jobless. When I have a home, help me to remember those who have no home at all. When I am without pain, help me to remember those who suffer. And remembering, help me to destroy my complacency. Bestir my compassion, and be concerned enough to help. By word and deed, those who cry out for what we take for granted. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We appreciate everyone being here today for our annual Civics Day luncheon. I have the honor of introducing Mayor Pat Bowler to all of you to begin our agenda today. Please welcome the mayor.
Well, good afternoon. So I'm at All 8 Up restaurant in downtown Hamilton eating lunch, having one of their great calzones, and that's a shameless advertisement for All 8 Up. The young man who waited on me was the son of the owners. You may know them. But he was on Civics Day 3 years ago. I said, hey man, what's going on? He says, well, I'm getting ready to graduate in engineering from UC. And he was a Hamilton High School student when he was on Civics Day. He also says he's getting married. That's great news. I've known the family for a long time. I go, how'd you meet her? And he tells me that she was at Civics Day the same time he was, and that she was a Baden student. So he didn't really meet her at Civics Day. He met her sometime after that, but they were in the same Civics Day class 3 or 4 years ago. So and there's a picture of the two of them sitting in this area, not at the same table, but at different tables. And lo and behold, they got married. They're going to get married, I believe, this summer. But what's the moral of the story on that one? Be involved with Civic Day, because you're going to meet your future spouse at Civics Day. So now I got all these high school students looking at each other right now. Who are they going to marry? But, okay, I want to thank the coordinators, the school coordinators, Joni Kopis, Elizabeth Wagner, Steve Braun, Patrick Keating, and Jordan Seitz. And it's interesting, and you'll hear this, a lot of the Civics Day School Board and Civics Day City Council, a lot of them are food-based recommendations. So be prepared for some food-based recommendations. And congratulations to the educators of the day, Elizabeth Wagner of Hamilton High School and Whitney Oliver of Baden. And Jordan, I know he's here somewhere, he played each one of you in the rehearsal yesterday. So, and Jordan did a fine job acting like the educators of the day. When I say your name and your counterpart, please stand up, look to my left. The gentleman who's got both hands up, Steve Colwell, the battery man, is going to put you on TV Hamilton. So, I'm going to start off with the City Council. Tanner Hamlin was my counterpart. So turn around and wave, Tanner. Hamilton High School, University of Cincinnati, possibly Ohio State, or the Ohio State University, pre-pharmacy, did a great job leading the City Council. And his particular City Council ordinance was an ordinance to allow a student representative from either Baden High School or Hamilton High School to be a City Council advisor. And I think it's going to make it and. I think that one will go into effect as a Hamilton and Baden High School student will be advising City Council on young people issues. So thank you, Tanner. You did a great job. City Manager Joshua Smith. I know he's here. Colin, don't call me Jason Crank, was the city manager because I screwed up and called him Jason one time. Xavier University in finance, and he answered all the questions very well at the City Council. Great job. Vice Mayor Michael Ryan, His counterpart's David Strunk. David's from Baden High School, interested in going to Miami University in human capital management and leadership. Did a great job of leading, and his particular ordinance had to do with an ordinance permanently stationing Hamilton police officers in all schools within the city of Hamilton, Ohio. And there's a robust conversation about that. Great job, David. Thank you. City Council member Tim Knabb could not be with us today, but his counterpart was Garrett Eldridge from Baden High School. Garrett, if you'll stand up. His college aspirations are Miami University. Looking forward to going into business. And he had a resolution for his city council suggestion authorizing the city to provide a comprehensive busing solution for our citizens. And what a complex issue that is. Great job, Garrett. Thank you for being involved with Civics Day. City Council member Kathy Klink. Her counterpart was Lauren Barnhardt from Baden High School. University of Kentucky, Health Sciences and Biology. And her particular City Council suggestion was a resolution promoting a once-a-month food truck rally within the city of Hamilton, Ohio. And it was a great resolution, and trying to get young people to be involved, and everybody loves food trucks. So, again, great job. Dylan Robinson, Hamilton High School, counterpart Councilmember Robert Brown, and Dylan's particular suggestion for council was an ordinance installing porch swings to River's Edge at Markham Park. The big porch swings that you see down in Cincinnati along their particular river park. That's a great suggestion. He had some photographs of that we put on the screen, and we can actually picture those type of porch swings in Hamilton. So thank you very much. Libby Hamilton is here today. Libby Hampton, I call her Libby Hamilton. Hey, just a nickname, I guess. Libby Hampton, Councilmember Matt Von Stein is not here today. Hamilton High School is where she goes to school. College aspirations are undecided, but wishes to go into healthcare and medicine. And her particular recommendation to council was an ordinance to build a riverside recycled sculpture across from Hamilton's River's Edge Park. So using recycling to build a sculpture in the city of Sculpture. Great. Thank you, Libby. City Council member Carla Fear is here, and her counterpart Taylor Otherson. Hamilton High School, undecided in her college aspirations at this time, and her recommendation to council was an ordinance of adding healthier food and dietary options around the Hamilton area, specifically through a food truck. So, again, these are great suggestions for council, and we will definitely take a look at all these. City Clerk, City Clerk Nick Garukas. Well, I'm going to have you stand up first, Nick, but that's okay. You can. Want a round of applause for Nick Garukas because we know how hard he worked on this. His counterparts, Eden Norris from Hamilton High School. Aspirations, Arizona State University, I believe in English and Communications. And Zoe Hargis, Baden High School, Miami University, undecided. Okay, Director of Business Services, Sarah Herndon. I believe Sarah is here. Hamilton High School, wants to go to the Ohio State University, majoring in linguistics. I can't say it, but linguistics. And she was involved a lot in the audience participation, did a great job of getting the other students to come up to the podium and talk. So great job, Sarah. Okay, Fire Department, Mark Mercer, and his counterparts, Michaela Ricketts and Sydney Rawlings. If they'll stand up and turn to the camera. Michaela's from Hamilton High School, University of Cincinnati or Miami, as a labor and delivery nurse. Sydney Rawlings from Baden, Point Park University, forensic science. So, great job by them. Police Department, Chief Buchheit. His counterparts, Alexis Burke, Hamilton High School, Miami University, criminal justice. And Dylan Ballauer from Baden High School, Huntington University, in business. So, thank both of them for being involved. And Okay, all these students this morning had the opportunity to go to municipal court and see Judge Gattemeyer in action. I think I did see the judge here. Is the judge standing up? No, judge isn't standing up. Okay, did a great job swearing people in. They visited his court, and these students learned that the colors like green and orange, they're not spring colors. Those colors will tell you you're going back to jail. So they had a chance to see that a little bit too, and they saw a preliminary hearing, which was, I think, a very interesting one. So we thank the judge for being involved. His counterpart, Cassidy Rogers, Hamilton High School, undecided, but wishes to go into dental hygiene. And Nate Hogan from Stephen T. Baden High School, University of Bristol, in biology. University of Bristol, I thought that was where ESPN was. I thought that was all it was in Bristol, but apparently there's a great school there for biology. Building services is Ken Rivera. I'm not sure if Ken is here, but our building services Civic State participant was Lindsay Flenner, Hamilton High School, The Ohio State University in political science. Again, great job by all of them. Department of Civil Service, that department, Olivia Lowry from Hamilton High School. And Olivia's interests are in the communications field, and her college is undecided at this time. Department of Economic Development. Department of Economic Development, Joni Gunnarsson is our director, and Katie Robka, is she here? Okay. And Tori Ricketts. Okay. Katie's a Baden High School student, University of Cincinnati in journalism, and Tori, Hamilton High School, undecided at this time as far as her major and school. Director of Engineering, Rich Engel. I know Rich is here. His two counterparts were Adam Clements, Baden High School, Miami University in biology. Vishnu Vengala, did I say your name right? Yes. Pretty cool. Hamilton High School, The Ohio State University, medicine. Department of Finance, Dave Jones. I'm not sure, is Dave here or is Dave working on our budget? Dave Jones, counterparts, Madison Reisner, Hamilton High School, The Ohio State University in education, and Ellie King, Baden High School, University of Cincinnati for nursing. Department of Health, Kay Farrar, has two students with her, Riley Julian, Hamilton High School, undecided, but physical therapy. David Anthony, Baden High School, Urbana University, environmental science. And he played the role of the father of the current police chief. I'm not quite sure how he pulled it off, but he pulled it off somehow, but that was kind of funny. And a good conversation about the police being in all of our schools. Okay, Department of Law, Letitia Block is here. Paige Mayer, from Hamilton High School, undecided at this time. Adam Salek. Adam Salek, all right. Baden High School, University of Notre Dame, go Irish, pre-law. Department of Planning, Liz Hayden. Two students, again, Isabella Weems, Hamilton High School, The Ohio State University, Psychology and Communications. Caden Kimbrell, Baden High School, United States Air Force Academy, Health Sciences. Public Safety, Scott Scamese is our director. We have Shelby Kinnan, Hamilton High School, Miami University, undecided. Department of Public Works is Jim Williams, our director. Jim's way in the back there. Brooke Barney was his counterpart, Hamilton High School, University of Cincinnati, architectural engineering. Resident Services. I think I saw Adam Helms here. Is he here? Who's his counterpart today? Clint. All right. Way to go, Clint. Victoria Luna, Hamilton High School, University of Cincinnati, Business and Finance. I'm not sure if Victoria is here. Maybe I missed her. Department of Neighborhoods, our new department, newest department. Brandon Sarber is the director. Mallory Roth, Hamilton High School. was the counterpart, undecided at this point in time as far as the school, but wants to go into education. Thank you, Mallory. Director of Utility Operations, Ravinder Paul. Is that pretty close? Ravinder Powell. I apologize. I saw you. I should have. Hamlin High School. Here's the big thing. The Ohio State University, finance, accounting, or business, destined to take the place of Dave Jones. So, Director of Technologies. And I do apologize on the name. Director of Technology Services. Emma Kolstead, Hamilton High School. Miami University in Business. Will Blanton, Baden High School, Purdue University, Computer Science. Hamilton Parks Conservancy, Steve Timmer, Hamilton Parks Conservancy, I believe he is here. Logan Tepe, Hamilton High School. He got the one clap, Steve did. Logan Tepe, Miami University, Biology. Carla Garcia, Baden High School, Miami University, Music Technology, Media, and Culture. Okay. I want to read to you the Board of Education topics, because those are also very good topics. And their topics were recommending that Baden High School hire an ESL, English as a Second Language, teacher. Recommended that Hamilton High School install card readers in the lunch lines for students to be able to pay for lunch using their student IDs and get their food faster. It was recommended that Hamilton High School purchase and install 3 water fountain attachments to fill water bottles. This one had a lot of good conversation. It's recommended that Baden High School switch from disposable plastic silverware to metal silverware. That's kind of cool, and they had some good discussion, and that passed as well. It's recommended that Baden High School pursue healthier food options by expanding the selections at the salad bar. I think there's 3 selections now, and they want to at least double that. And of course, that one passed. They recommended that Hamilton High School and Baden High School host a joint powder puff football game. And I can see that happening with the monies going to a particular charity, or 2 of them. Recommendation that Baden High School institute Food Truck Fridays at lunch. I told you there were a lot of food-oriented type of recommendations. It's recommended that Hamilton High School implement a preparatory course for the ACT and the SAT. And then it was recommended that Hamilton High School implement recycling bins during lunch in the cafeteria. And there was some good audience participation with all those school board legislation. And there was a lot of laughter as well. One that was not really mentioned during the actual meeting, but kind of was recommended that Baden High School hire a mental health professional. So these students did take these recommendations seriously, and I can tell that these students are all serious about their food, but they did take these things very, very seriously. Okay, let me read the folks who were involved from the schools and the various positions on the school board. Leah Krauss, counterpart school superintendent Mike Holbrook, and Baden High School at this time, undecided. She did a great job as school superintendent. She fielded a lot of questions, did a great job. School board president, Robert Weigel. McKenzie Courage is his counterpart. McKenzie, Hamilton High School, undecided at this time regarding her major and school. School board vice president, Lauren Sprague. They are both here. Emily goes to Baden High School, wants to attend The Ohio State University, majoring in biology, and she said no a couple times. I was really proud that she said no to some things. She just didn't like it, so she said no. Hannah Baker, counterpart Steve Isgro, Hamilton High School, The Ohio State University in chemical engineering. School board member, yeah, these are impressive schools and impressive majors and impressive young people as well. School board member Scott Kruger. I'm not sure if I saw Scott here, but Miguel Ramirez was the counterpart. He did a great job. John Hopkins University in biochemistry. School member Tom Mouth. Sophie Tischler is here as his counterpart. Sophie attends Baden High School, The Ohio State University, biology. School Board Treasurer Robert Hancock. Counterpart is Sunny Kim. And Sunny goes to Baden High School. And her college is Georgetown University, International Relations. I want to especially thank Sunny because she's a volunteer with our 17 Strong group, and she is working on Saturday in a 17 Strong project. So, round of applause for Sunny. Did I forget anybody out there? Has everybody who's a student involved in Civics Day get recognized? Okay, I see no hands or people standing up. Okay, before I introduce our student speakers, it's Revenge Football Friday around town here. We hope Hamilton High, of course, beats Fairfield, and we hope that Baden defeats Ross. What we can all say, almost together, is Go Bucks. Go Bucks. All right, that worked out pretty well. All right, the student speakers. My counterpart, Tanner Hamlin, wants to give us all some wisdom, and I'm sure he will do that. Tanner Hamlin.
Good afternoon. For those of you who I have not had the pleasure to meet, my name is Tanner Hamlin, and I had the distinct pleasure of being selected as mayor for the 2019-2020 Civic Day. Before beginning, I would like to thank the Rotary Club and Kiwanis for having Civic Day here today and for the opportunity to express my gratitude and appreciation for this year's Civic Day. Last year, which was my first year in participating in Civic Day, I had the chance to serve on the school board assigned under Mr. Tom Alf, who our thoughts and prayers are with today. Working closely alongside my advisors, Mrs. Joni Kopis and Mrs. Elizabeth Wagner, my knowledge of the school board began to grow. Going in, I was unsure as what to expect or what the school board did. Now, thanks to the shadowing sessions through Civic Day, my knowledge has expanded and has truly inspired me. Now, I don't plan on being the next young candidate for the school board, but I do think youth perspective is truly valuable, which is what my Civic Day proposal was all about. As leaders of tomorrow, we are fueling the fire for the next generation. Despite what some of our stereotypes may include, being obsessed with social media, speeding on the roads, or creating new slang that not even I can keep up with, our generation expresses determination and strength. Specifically, the determination and strength to continue positivity and development within our world and inspire generations yet to come. A few years ago, while volunteering at Fort Hamilton Hospital, I was asked why. Why was I spending the majority of my summer volunteering in a hospital when I could very well be elsewhere? Why would I not want to give back, their question stunned me and I had to think. After a second, the answer was clear. Why would I not want to give back to the community who's raised me? Why would I not want to help inspire others and share the flame of philanthropy that was lit under my feet? I am very pleased to live in Hamilton and for every single opportunity that our city has bestowed upon me. As most throughout the country may be unaware of where or what Hamilton is, but I will forever be proud to say that I am from Hamilton. With the potential of attending Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona, I will continue to represent my city with pride and distinction. Before wrapping up, or waking some of you up from my speech, it would be wrong of me not to recognize the people who make Civic Day happen each year. Nick Arukis, City Clerk, Pat Moeller, my substitute for tomorrow, Mr. Braun, Mrs. Wagner, Mrs. Kopis, Mr. Keating, and Mr. Seitz, and for the employees throughout our city taking the time to work alongside today's youth and give them a taste of your day in the life. I would also like to recognize this year's proclamation from Hamilton High School, Mrs. Elizabeth Wagner, who's here with us today. Mrs. Wagner has been a very influential person for Civic Day and for myself as well. I had the honor of presenting Mrs. Wagner's proclamation at our council meeting this morning, and am proud to have presented this to her, and not just because she controls how much I swim at practice every day after school. Finally, I would like to thank the Rotary and Kiwanis again for having us here today, and for the students who participated in this year's Civic Day. As the leaders of tomorrow, let us embrace the many tomorrows ahead with a positive mindset, determination, and resilience to make our world an even better place. Thank you.
I've known Tanner and his family for a long time, and it's great to see him now go off to college. And like all of you young people, I hope you all come back to Hamilton. City Manager, Colin Crank.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Colin Crank, and today I had the opportunity to be the acting city manager for Civic Day. I'm currently a senior at Baden High School, and over the past month, my peers and I have been learning the inner workings of local government in the city of Hamilton. First, I would like to thank the many people that have devoted their time and effort towards making Civic Day possible, including Hamilton City Council, Hamilton City School District, Mayor Pat Moeller, Joshua Smith, Nick Garukas, Mr. Keating and Mr. Seitz from Baden, Mrs. Wagner and Mr. Braun from Hamilton High, Mr. Pendergast and the Baden administration, Mr. Wilhelm and the Hamilton High administration, and especially Hamilton Rotary and the Lindenwald Kiwanis for hosting this luncheon for us today. Without you all, the students of Baden and Hamilton High would not be able to experience this amazing opportunity of getting involved in local government. Leading up to Civic Day, students from both Hamilton High and Baden attended several tours and a shadow day to experience how Hamilton runs on a daily basis. We attended tours highlighting economic development, history, the Hamilton Fire Department, and more. On the shadow day, each student was placed with a person in the position they would be assuming on Civic Day, so I was able to work with City Manager Joshua Smith. Joshua has been one of the key factors in the immense growth of Hamilton over the past 10 years. And on my shadow day, we talked about projects such as the Mercantile Lofts, the Markham, and the Spooky Nook Sports Complex. However, Spooky Nook seems to be at the forefront of conversation here in Hamilton. The sports complex will completely change our city, both physically and economically. Spooky Nook is going to bring thousands of people each week to Hamilton, leading to new restaurants, stores, and public spaces opening. Businesses from successful areas, including Over the Rhine, Loveland, and Lebanon, are flocking to Hamilton to seize the great opportunities that are upon the horizon. I've lived in Hamilton my entire life, so it's exhilarating to see how much growth has occurred in just the past decade. Hamilton has become a hub of activity with new stores, new restaurants, and new events, and that's only going to expand in the next 2 years. I've had the opportunity to see Hamilton evolve, and I know the city has a bright future. I credit this overwhelming success to our city's government. Mayor Moeller, Joshua Smith, City Council, and others have devoted hours of hard work into making Hamilton the lively city they know it can be. Today, the participants of Civic Day immerse themselves into local government. Members of our Civic Day City Council proposed several ordinances that I feel could be possible additions to the city of Hamilton. 2 examples of legislation passed today were Councilman Robinson's idea for a metal porch swing along River's Edge at Markham Park, and Councilwoman Barnhorn's proposal for a monthly food truck rally in Markham Park. Ideas like these are promising for the future of Hamilton, especially since they could be considered luxury-type proposals. Our city has finally reached a point in its development where the government is able to pass legislation that gives its citizens experiences, rather than having to solely focus on issues that could be a detriment to Hamilton. Once again, I would like to express my gratitude to the city of Hamilton for allowing high schoolers to learn more about government in a real-world setting, not just in the classroom. Thank you all for listening.
Next, we'll hear from the school board president, McKenzie Courage.
Good afternoon. My name is McKenzie Courage, and I am a junior at Hamilton High and a Civic Day School Board President. First off, I would like to thank Hamilton Rotary and Lindenwald Kiwanis Club for hosting lunch today. I would also like to thank Mr. Braun, Mrs. Wagner, and the Hamilton administration team for organizing today's event. I would also like to thank Baden High School, Mr. Keating, Mr. Seitz, and their administration for helping organize today and allowing the school board members from Hamilton into their building for a day. I'd also like to thank Mr. Garukis and Mayor Moeller. Mr. Garukis set up all of our tours and organized the agenda for Civic Day. Mayor Moeller supports Civic Day and really encourages young people to get involved in Hamilton. Both have helped educate Civic Day students on how our city functions. I would also like to give a big thank you to Mrs. Kopis for meeting with the school board members every week. Mrs. Kopis organized and helped run every meeting, whether that was making agendas or listening to everyone's ideas. She made every member feel welcome. Mrs. Kopis helped bring us together and put our ideas forward. Civic Day has been an eye-opening experience. I learned things about Hamilton's history and inner workings that I hadn't considered or knew. Each week, we went on different tours to learn about the city in a more hands-on way. This includes touring the Butler County Courthouse, meeting city officials, and learning about Hamilton's investments into downtown. And those are just a few examples of some activities and things we learned. Last Monday, October 28th, the 4 Baden school board members came and spent a day at Hamilton High. Right off the bat, I could tell it was a completely different environment than what they were used to. They reminded me that Hamilton High is such a big school, physically and with the number of students. Walking around the building, Emily and Sophie were pointing out things to me that I've grown used to over the past year and a half. They really enjoyed the art murals and the history department. This reminded me of how unique Hamilton High is. The next day, I and the 2 other Hamilton board members spent a day at Baden. After hearing about a normal school day at Baden from our weekly meetings, personally, I was excited to experience it for myself. Everyone from the staff and students were very welcoming. A few things that were different than Hamilton High included homeroom, shorter class periods, and the lunchroom, their badge system. There were also a large number of advanced placement classes, which Hamilton has decreased the amount of due to College Credit Plus. Being able to see the similarities and differences between the 2 schools was interesting. I realized that the buildings and the class sizes may be different, but each school has the same ideals, preparing students for their future, whether that be college, the military, or immediately entering the workforce. Both schools want their students to succeed. Overall, Civic Day has been an amazing experience. At Hamilton High, I will use the information I learned to inspire others to learn more about and to support the growing city of Hamilton. In the future, Civic Day will lead me to get out and support my community even more. Thank you.
Okay, next we'll have Leah Krauss, School Superintendent.
So I'm not gonna lie to all of you, when I figured out that I was going last, I got insanely nervous, and also, I was going to start off my speech with good afternoon, but thank you to Tanner and Colin, and McKenzie, I can't do that. But, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leah Krauss, and I'm currently a senior at Baden High School and the Civic Day Superintendent. Over the past 2 months, I've been fortunate enough to participate in various Civic Day activities, and this would not have been possible without the help and guidance of so many. So that being said, I would like to start off by thanking a few of those people who have ensured that today has went smoothly and efficiently. So a special thanks to Mr. Keating, Mrs. Kopis, Mr. Braun, and Mr. Seitz for organizing the school board and keeping us in check. Thank you to the Hamilton City School Board and Ed Larkin from Baden's Board of Trustees for working with us and showing us how both schools really operate. And finally, a big thank you to Lindenwald Kiwanis and Hamilton Rotary for today's luncheon. I immensely enjoyed the mac and cheese. So over the course of the last few months, the school board students from both Baden and Hamilton met to discuss various ideas and issues at both schools. And looking at all of our ideas, most of them were food-based, which we talked a lot about today, obviously. From changes to cafeterias to food trucks and everything in between, my group in particular was definitely thinking with our stomachs. In all seriousness, the changes that we discussed are for the betterment of all students, something that we all care deeply about. Some of the ideas that the Baden and Hamilton Civic Day School Board discussed were the psychological and mental health of students, healthier lunch options by instituting a full salad bar at Baden, water bottle stations at Hamilton High, hiring an English as a second language or ESL teacher at Baden, additional recycling bins at Hamilton High, and a joint powder puff game for Baden and Hamilton High students. All of these ideas were well thought out and discussed at length. Probably one of the best parts of Civic Day process for us was the exchange day between the 2 schools. A few weeks ago, the Baden and Hamilton High students shadowed at each other's schools for the day. Although I was unable to attend the day at Hamilton High, my fellow Baden students really enjoyed their day there. It was great to see how another school operates and celebrate some of the similarities between our two great schools. One of the funniest things that I think they came back and said was that when they came into Baden and the bells rung, they didn't even think that we were changing classes because they said that that was the usual amount of people in the hallways. So the size difference, obviously, stuck out to both groups, as did the differing cell phone policies. So at Baden, if the Hamilton High students didn't know this, we're not allowed to be on our phones at all during the day. And you guys are allowed to have them out besides in your red zones, I believe. So that was very different. So the best part of Civic Day, to me, was getting to know my school board group and the way that we really came together and worked. When we had our first meeting, I was unsure if we would get along and be able to come up with ideas together because of the growing issue that is the football field. But that initial mentality changed quickly. The 7 of us were able to talk so much about positive changes within our communities and experience things within both schools that we had never imagined. Our 2 schools are at their best when we work together and collaborate to improve all of Hamilton. Thank you all once again Thank you all once again for all involved, and thank you to those who made today possible.
Have a round of applause for those 4 student speakers and all of our students. And again, if you're around these students and their coordinators, you just see the energy that the teachers put into this and the energy that comes back out of this. It's an incredible experience to hang around the Civics Day group, watch the meetings, and there are some great ideas. There are things that can be done, definitely. Okay, now I introduce Dan Sander, the president of the Kiwanis Club. Thank you, Rotary and Kiwanis, for this fine luncheon. And Kiwanis means we build, and Kiwanis actually does so many good things for children in our community. It's incredible. Thank you, Kiwanis. Dan.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of the Kiwanis and the Rotary Club, I'd like to congratulate all you students on being selected for Civics Day, and I'd like to thank all you city leaders for giving up your time and participating in this to make it a special program. I'd also like to thank all of you in the audience for coming here today and supporting these 2 programs. This meeting is adjourned. Have a great rest of your day.